Y'all, I planned on being done with this accountability series, but America just keeps on wilding. With election day around the corner, I started to reminisce about simpler times. A time where I could watch Republican nominees debate in a bar while sharing a drink with my friends. Anyway, the candidate that always stuck out to me was Ben Carson. Growing up as a science nerd, I always loved reading about Ben Carson's innovation and accomplishments in medicine. And then finding out that he had a really hard life coming from a single family home in the hood made me feel a certain kinship to him. To me, he was this modern day superhero healing people's brains. So you can imagine my surprise when I realized that Ben Carson is a huge conservative who supports the very people who made his childhood awful. Even worse, he feels like that because he was able to achieve these great feats, every other person in his position should be able to do the same. Thinking back on it reminded me of a black superhero named Icon from Milestone Comics. Now, for those of you who don't know, Icon is the second biggest hero to come out of Milestone after my boy Static Shock. You may have seen images of him recently because Milestone is coming back, and also because DC is highlighting a lot of their black heroes. I wonder why that is. Either way, what makes Icon so special, besides the fact that he's black, is his story. Icon is an alien that landed in the South in the 1800s. As a defense mechanism, his spaceship transformed him into an infant version of whoever discovered him, which in this case happened to be a slave. Icon then grew up to fight in the Civil War and ultimately become a very successful lawyer. In terms of power, he basically does everything Superman does, but also he doesn't age, which enables him to live through all the different facets of being a black man in America. Watching a black man achieve what the American dream is supposed to be is pretty inspiring. But here's the caveat. Icon is a conservative Republican who quotes men like Rush Limbaugh. You know, the man who just called the Democratic vice president nominee a mattress. Like Ben Carson, Icon has experienced all levels of systematic racism. But instead of it radicalizing him, it pushed him to the far right, which leads to some great moments with his sidekick Rocket, who consistently checks him and his privilege. It's a very interesting read because he's doing all these great things, but we don't quite like the way he thinks. It's just very interesting to see a black man with that much power rock with a party that doesn't like him, especially when that man has personally experienced the worst part of that party and its ideals. So with the relaunch of the comic, I am very interested to see how this Ben Carson-like figure can navigate today in cancel culture. Does his political views negate all of the great things he does for the black community? Let me know your thoughts. If you haven't read it, I encourage you to take a look. It's a pretty short run. And if you have, let me know what you think about how Icon can navigate in the culture today. But until next time, have a fantastic week, my friends.